Assalamu alaikum grade 5. How are you all? This is unit 16 transforming shapes, lesson C, reflecting shapes. Today inshallah you will be able to reflect shapes over x and y axis and align y equal x. Before we start, this is a small activity. I want you to match the images to their reflections. Take your time. See the first one. Where is the reflection for? Reflection means flip. Good. Let's check our answers. So this is the correct answer. Now let's discover what does reflection mean. To discover that, I want you to check this picture. You can see the mountain and the water here work like a mirror. So what is the relationship between reflection and mirror or the mirror line? So reflection is a type of a transformation. Reflection flips an object, so the size and the shape stay exactly same, but the shape is mirrored. So here in reflection we will not change the size of the shape, just we are going to mirror this shape. Can a mirror line be vertical? In this example, the mirror line is horizontal, like x-axis. What do you think? Y-axis can be a mirror line? Let's check. What do you think after this picture? Yes, it can. Excellent. So the mirror line can be any direction you want. So it can be x-axis, y-axis, or line y equal x. This is the three cases we are going to learn it today. Now let's try to solve this example. Here you can see the red shape and we want to draw the reflection of this shape. The first step, you have to choose a corner, any corner you want. Here we choose this one, the yellow one. Then find the distance between the mirror line, this is the vertical one, and this point we choose it. The distance is 1 square to the left of the mirror line. Okay, so the new point should have the same distance, only 1 square. So we draw the first point. Now we do that for all the points. Choose the second point. This is the second point. Also it's 1 square, the distance between the line, so we put that also. Now we are doing all the corners. After you define all the corners, just connect between them to get the reflected shape. So this is now the reflected shape. So today inshallah we are going to learn reflection shapes over x-axis, y-axis, and the y equal x line. First, let's start with x-axis. Here you can see x-axis, this is the pink line. This line now in this case will work like a mirror. So let's check this example. You can see the triangle ABC and we reflecting this triangle to A apostrophe C apostrophe B apostrophe. This is the reflecting triangle over x-axis. So here x-axis work like a mirror. Another example, here also another triangle. This is a right angle triangle, if you remember, and here A, B, C, we want to reflect this shape over x-axis, so x-axis work like a mirror line, and this is the reflected shape. A down, you can see it in quadrant 3. Now, if you want to reflect any shape over x-axis, the x-coordinate remains the same, but the y-coordinate is transformed into its opposite. So, like this. The point before reflection, it's xy. For example, let's say it's 2, 1. And after reflection, if the reflection over x-axis, it will be x and minus y. So x, we will not change it. The number will be the same. Y, just we want to write the opposite number, or if it's negative, we write it positive, and it's positive, we write it negative. Let's check this example to understand more. Here you can see the rule. The rule, we say if the reflection over x-axis, the point xy, it will be x and minus y. Okay, all of you can see this trapezoid. This is the shape A, and we have 4 points. Let's check the coordinates for each point. The first one, it's what? Good, 1 and 1. The second, up, x, it's 1, and y, good, 5. We write x first, so this is 1 and 5. The third one, it's what? 3 and 4, good. And the last one, 3 and 2. Now we want to reflect this shape over x-axis. Okay, so when we want to reflect the shape over x-axis, the mirror line here, we have it x, so this shape will be down. Okay, now we will work on the point by point. Okay, see the rule, x we keep it the same, and y it's become minus. So here for this point 1 and 1, x will be same 1, and y minus, or the opposite number, so it will be minus 1. So draw 1 and minus 1. This is the new point. Now the second one, 1 and 5, it will be 1 and minus 5. Good. 3 and 4, it's what now? 3 and minus 4. Excellent. So we draw 3 and minus 4. Then the last one, it's 3 and minus 2. Good. So we draw 3 and minus 2. After that, just you have to connect between these lines, and this is now the reflected shape, and we name it A. We put up apostrophe just to differentiate that this is the reflected shape, not the original one. Okay, the second example now, we have another trapezoid. This is B, and we want to reflect this shape over x-axis. So before we start reflecting, just we want to find the coordinates for each corner. Let's start. The first one, okay, for x, we have x minus 5 and y 2. Excellent. Now the second one, up, it's minus 4 and 4. Excellent. The third one, sorry, minus 2 and 2, and the last one, what is the x? X first, don't forget. Excellent. This is minus 1 and 2. So now we want to start reflecting. X same, we will not change X. Y, it will be minus. So here it will be minus 5 minus 2. The second one, minus 4 minus 4. The third one, minus 2, sorry, this is minus 1 minus 2, and the last one, minus 2 minus 4. After that, just you have to link between these, drawing between these corners, and this is the reflected trapezoid. And this is the third example about reflecting shapes over x-axis. You can see the green triangle ABC, we reflected around or over x-axis. So let's check what happened to each point. Let's start with point A. It was the coordinate for point A, minus 2 and 1. And now we want to reflect it. We say when we want to reflect over x-axis, x we will not change it, just we change y. If it's minus, we make it positive, and if it's positive, we make it negative. So here it's minus 2 and 1. It will be minus 2 minus 1. So this A apostrophe, this is the reflection of A, point A. Now B, 2, 4. When we want to reflect it, it will be 2 minus 4, and C, it's 4, 2. When we reflect it to point C apostrophe, this is 4 minus 2. And now let's learn how can we reflecting shapes over y-axis. This is the y-axis, the vertical line, remember. And here when we want to reflect over y-axis, y-axis will be our mirror line. So the shapes will reflected over y-axis. This is another example how can we reflect shapes over y-axis. Now we will see more examples to understand this. Okay, let's find the rule. The rule to reflect any shape over y-axis or across y-axis. Okay, the y-coordinate remains same, but x-coordinate is transformed into its opposite. So just we have to change the sign, positive, negative. Okay, so the reflection of the point xy, it will be minus xy. Okay, this is example 1 about reflecting over y-axis. We have this shape and we want to reflect it over y-axis. Okay, now we say that y will be same, we will not change y, just x we are going to change it. So before we start, let's write the coordinates for each point. The first one, 1 and 1. The second one, 1 and 5, good. The third one, 3 and 4. Then we have 3 and 2. Now let's start reflecting. First point, it's 1 and 1. X, we will write it minus, so minus 1. And y, same, so 1. So it will be minus 1, 1. Let's draw minus 1 and 1. This is the first point. Now the second one, okay, it was 1 and 5. 1, x will be minus, minus 1 and 5. The third point, 3 and 4, it will be minus 3 and 4, good. And the last one, Excellent. -3 and 2. Now we draw lines between the points, and this is the reflected shapes. This is another example about reflecting shapes across y-axis. So let's check the points. You can see the original triangle in the first quadrant, A, B, C. A, it's 2, 2, B, 4, 4, C, 5, 1. Now we want to reflect it across y-axis. So the rule, remember the rule, y same, we will not change y, and x, it will be -x. So here, for point A, we have 2, 2. First one for x, and this will be -2, and y we will not change it, so it will be -2 and 2. So we reflect the first corner. Now the second one, B, it's 4, 4. Y 4, we will not change it. X 4, we have to write the opposite number, so it will be -4. So the second point, the second corner, -4 and 4. The third one, 5, 1. Y is 1, we will not change 1. 5, the x is 5, so we have to write the opposite number, so it will be -5. So this C apostrophe, this is the third corner. After that, just match between the corners and you get the reflected shapes across y-axis. Now the third type of reflection, this is over line x equal y equal x. So what is this line? This is the line y equal x. Okay, and see how can this line be mirrored like this one. Here we have, this is line y equal x, the mirror line, and here also we can see the line y equal x work as a mirror line. So A, we transform it, or we reflect it to B. Okay, now let's study the rule about reflecting any shape or any point across line y equal x. So the rule tell you that x coordinate and y coordinate change places. So just we will change the places. So for example, if the point 1 and 5, it means x1 and y5, so we will change. It will be 5 and 1. Okay, so we write y in the x place and x in the y place. Now let's solve this example to apply the rule. This is the line y equal x, and we have this trapezoid, we name it A. We want to reflect it across line y equal x. Before we do that, let's define the corners and write the coordinate for each corner. The first one, it's -1 and 1, good. The second one, up, excellent, -1 and 5. The third one, -3 and what? Good, and 4. And the fourth one, -3 and 2, excellent. Now let's start reflecting. We will start with the first one, -1 and 1. What is the rule here? The rule, we write y in the place of x and x in place of y. So if the corner or the point -1 and 1, it will be 1 and -1. So we put 1 and -1. Now the second point, it's -1 and 5. When we reflect it, it will be 5 because y it become in x. 5y, now it is in the x place. 5 and -1. So plot 5 and -1. Now the third point, -3 and 4. It will be 4 and -3. Then the last one, -3 and 2. It will be what? Who can tell me? Excellent. It will be 2 and -3. Plot it and we draw lines between the corners, and this is the reflected shape. This is another example of reflecting across line y equal x. The first triangle ABC, we write the coordinate for each point. A is -4 and 2. So when we want to reflect it, it will be 2 and -4. We draw it. Then B, it's -3 -1. It will be -1 -3. Good. So just change the places. C, -5 -2. It will be -2 -5, and we draw our reflected triangle. Now let's practice more examples. All of you can see shape B. This shape B, we want to reflect it across x-axis first, then across y-axis. Before we start reflecting, we plot the first corner. This is the orange one. And who can tell me the coordinate for this corner? Excellent. This is -5 and 1. So we want to reflect it across or over x-axis. What is the rule? What will happen here? Good. X same and y opposite. So -5 and 1. X same, -5, 1. We will write the opposite number, -1. So we draw this, and this will be the reflected shape across x-axis. Now let's check it across y-axis. Same point, -5 and 1. We want to work on it. So it will be -5 and 1 across y-axis. So y never change, y same, 1 will be 1. But x, we will write the opposite. It's here -5. The opposite of -5, 5. So it will be 5 and 1. We plot 5 and 1. Do the same with the other corners, and this is the reflected shape.